You are now listening to the Ron Paul Radio Network. Radio for the revolution.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? I'm your host, Paco. You're listening to Occupy the Media. Appreciate it if you're tuning in. Just a reminder, Ron Paul will be in El Paso Town Hall, April 25th, 7 p.m. Mountain Time at Memorial Gym. Next day at 7 p.m., April 26th in Austin at the LBJ Library Lawn. And at Houston, April 27th, 7 p.m. at Hoff-Hines Pavilion. Okay, so yeah, we were just talking about before last break, new article, Business Insider dissing Ron Paul supporters. Check that out. Now, I got this clip I want to play. Hopefully everything come in fine. Talking about vice presidents, talking about who could be the vice president. And, they keep hyping up this dude, Marco Rubio, because he got the look or whatever. Who knows? But, anybody who's coming out supporting the establishment, supporting Mitt Romney, anybody who isn't supporting Ron Paul, then automatically don't trust you, don't want anything to do with you, don't even want you in the party. Anyway, I think it's funny because I was watching this clip on CNN and it made me think that, this might be little things that they're doing to try to win over young people, trying to talk cool or sound cool or try to relate to us. So Mark Rubio's on CNN talking about he likes hip-hop.
Thanks for having me. All right, a name you often hear mentioned as a potential GOP vice presidential pick, Senator Marco Rubio, her pick. But today, the Florida Republican actually endorsed someone else for the VP slot, Jeb Bush. Rubio says the former Florida governor would make a fantastic vice president. Rubio also revealed a side of himself that you don't hear a whole lot about.
Well, I am a hip-hop fan from especially 90s hip-hop. Some of the modern stuff has changed, although, one of my things I've been discovered is I'm a fan of Nicki Minaj, who's one of the hip-hop artists today. But she's not just a rapper. She also sings in her album. And then we have a local artist named Pitbull as well, who I know that sounds like an interesting name, but he's actually very talented. And he just involved in the soundtrack for Men in Black, so we're proud of him.
I think I know that, actually. So,
yeah.
And randomly, I do happen to...
Man, shut up, man. I swear, yo. I like Nicki Minaj. I like Pitbull. Mitt Romney going up there saying I like, I like grits and something when he was down in the South. I mean, this is just so ridiculous, man. Nobody cares about Nicki Minaj. Nobody cares about Pitbull unless they rapping about Ron Paul. I don't care about them. But it's just little things like this that tick me off because when I see stuff like that on TV, I just think to myself, like, they're trying to play us, man. They're trying to play me like you're one of us or like you're down to earth. That's all it is. Let's just give you the perception that they're down to earth. They're regular people, relate. And, the Republicans need young people because, Ron Paul's winning all the young people. And Mitt Romney and the rest of them can't do it. I mean, if you're young and you're supporting anybody but Ron Paul, you've been hanging out with a lot of old people. You need to get some new friends or something. Get out the house, get off the TV, get on the internet. But, I just think things like that are real funny to me, man. I'm not saying he doesn't like it or doesn't listen to hip-hop, but the media, along with them, it's just trying to push that agenda, trying to push to give you that picture and that image of them being a normal person. But in reality, let's talk about their voting record. I don't care about what he listens to, I don't even care what Ron Paul listens to. You know what I'm saying? I happen to like Ron Paul, so, I could have a discussion with him. We could talk. It's cool. That would be no problem. But it's like, why do we like Ron Paul? Because of what he voted for, what he stand for, what he talked about politically, the issues that he brought up, what he exposed. These other candidates, man, they're always just saying little phrases, little things here and there, small government. Oh, get Obama out of office. It's just little things here and there to try to catch people's attention, a certain group. And try to get them to jump on board. But the Ron Paul supporters, we're not falling for that. We know what's going on. And, again, that's why we support Ron Paul, because he tells the truth. Now, let's see here. There was this other clip I want to play real quick for you. It was on CNN that ticked me off majorly, asking, why don't you have Ron Paul and Newt Gingrich drop out? Let's see here.
Chairman Reince Priebus told the National Journal yesterday, "This Tuesday, I think, is probably going to be a defining moment for our decision-making as to whether or not we move forward with the declaration of Mitt Romney being the presumptive nominee," he said Tuesday. Reince Priebus joins me now from Scottsdale, Arizona. Hi, Reince. Thanks for being with us. Today's event was supposed to help.
Jessica.
Today's event was supposed to help unite the Republican Party behind Mitt Romney. Why wait until Tuesday's primaries to call him the presumptive nominee?
Well, I mean, out of, I think, respect and deference to Congressman Paul and Speaker Gingrich, we're still talking to all the candidates who, we have, a little bit of a different deal here. We've got to follow some rules. And I think also just, like I said, I think out of respect for them, it's important for us to continue talking and just making sure that we're moving slowly. We're communicating with all the campaigns, obviously. But
so does that mean that after
Tuesday's important.
So does that mean that after Tuesday you'll ask Gingrich and Paul to end their campaigns?
No, I don't think I'd ever do that. I would let Mr. Paul and Gingrich decide on their own what they want to do.
Why? You're the party leader. Isn't it your role to step in and ask these campaigns to end, to help Romney seal the deal and move forward?
Why do we have to help Romney if we don't like Romney? I don't like Romney at all. I don't want nothing to do with him. I don't want him in the party. I don't even want him in the country. And then that's not just him. Obama, all of them. I'm so sick of CNN and everybody automatically expecting that because we're Republicans, that we're supposed to jump on board and be with the party and everything's all good. Why do you think we haven't been with Republicans this whole time? Where have all the Ron Paul supporters been all these years? The Republicans in office. We weren't showing up to the delegates. We weren't showing up to these conventions. Who was it? It was Ron Paul who brought us into the party because the Republican Party ain't been for us. So I'm sick and tired of them asking, well, you're the leader. Why don't you ask them to drop out? You should be trying to bring people together, unite people. What's the point of uniting with people you don't agree with? It makes no sense, man. No sense at all. It's just disrespectful because CNN wants him to do their job, which is to kick Ron Paul out. Why can't you tell him to get out? We're doing the best we can to get him out. We're doing the best we can to build up the perception that he has no chance. We're doing the best we can to not report the delegates. It's amazing, man. It is amazing that we got all this GOP fraud going on, and then turn on the TV. You can't even get a decent coverage at all whenever they talk about Ron Paul. And, I'm glad that, Prince Rebus, I forgot his name, that I'm glad of what he said, that no, I'm not going to tell him to do that, and I never would, and that's good. You shouldn't. And he also said that the American people are tired of being told what to do and who to vote for, and he's right, man. We're tired of that. I don't understand how there's a national race for the presidency, and we have 2 or 3 primaries, and over half of the people dropped out. I mean, it's amazing to me, man. We should have a better process of voting. We should have as many people as possible running for president, as many options as possible. But how the establishment is. We all need to come together. We all need to unify. You hear the news talk about Mitt Romney. They're just trying to convince you that he's your man. Anyways, when we get back, I got a clip I want to play for you guys. Secret Service agent that first got to JFK after he got murdered. He's finally out and talking to CNN. We'll play that next. All right, I'm Paco. You listen to Occupy the Media.
We were brought up loving our country. That in the United States of America, we were free. And that's an attitude that we've tried to instill in our children. I met my wife in the Air Force. I was a combat pilot in Vietnam. I served in Desert Storm as a commander. When I graduated from the academy, I took the oath of office. And as a commander, I administered that oath to many people. Now I wonder about the understanding people have of our Constitution, and I think about our candidates for President of the United States. It's interesting to see the support Ron Paul gets from the military. And if we think back to the code of conduct and people raising their right hand that they were going to support and defend the Constitution of the United States, why would those same people support in great numbers Ron Paul? I think it's because they've raised their right hands and they're putting their lives on the line for us here in the United States, and they know that Ron Paul does the same.
America.